Tonight on Y News. The Senate revamps committee chairmanships. Liberal Party senators join the minority bloc. Senator Laila De Lima files a petition to the Supreme Court seeking to nullify the arrest warrant and detention orders issued by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. 6 of the 13 fugitives from Pidea Jail in Camp Olivas, Pampanga surrendered to authorities. A manhunt is launched against 7 others.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines is yet to confirm the beheading of a German national held captive by the Abu Sayyaf group. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, clarifies its modernization plan amid transport strikes against phase-out of old jeepney units. And experience the Netherlands in Asia when you visit a Zhao Chef flower farm in Taiwan.
Y News begins now.
Untv News and Rescue Command Center. This is Y News with Angelo Castro III and Darlene Basingan.
Good evening. The camp of Senator Laila De Lima has filed a petition at the Supreme Court to nullify the arrest warrant against the senator and to prohibit the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court from handling her case. Roderick Mendoza will tell us why.
The camp of Senator Laila De Lima went to the Supreme Court to question the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court's order to arrest and detain the lady senator in connection with her illegal drug case. The lawyers of De Lima filed a petition asking the High Tribunal to immediately issue a status quo ante order and to nullify the arrest warrant and commitment order issued by Judge Juanita Guerrero of Muntinlupa RTC Branch 204. De Lima's lawyers argue the trial court's order to arrest and detain the senator is illegal since it was issued with undue haste while they have a pending motion questioning the RTC's jurisdiction over her drug case. They also note SC decisions stating that an accused did not be arrested pending the resolution of his or her motion to quash.
Kung may motion to quash ang isang akusado, huwag kang karaka-raka, judge, mag-i-issue ng arrest warrant dahil you're put on notice. You are notified, you're forewarned. Baka may posibleng illegal na pag-aresto kang gagawin dahil kino-question mismo ng akusado ang jurisdiction mo, ang poder mo. Kumbaga, kino-question dito, may kay ka ba, judge, in the first place para dinggin at resolbahin ang kasong ito.
De Lima's camp also asked the SC to issue a TRO and to stop the proceedings in the case pending the resolution on the said jurisdiction issue. They further noted that the illegal drug trading case against De Lima is clearly fabricated and has no sufficient evidence, arguing that there is even no mention of the kind and amount of illegal drugs traded and to whom it was sold. They also added that if the allegations that De Lima received money from drug lords are true, illegal drug trading is not the proper charges against her.
Sinasabi nila mismo dito nag-solicit, nag-demand, nag-extort ng pera. Hindi ho illegal drug trading yun. Bribery ho ang tawag doon, no? Pero sabi ko nga, binanggit lamang nila yung illegal drug trading because precisely para nga maipasok ito sa 9165 at a-allege nila kunwari na non-bailable yan at para nga masabi na ito ay non-bailable na pwedeng ang hulihin.
De Lima's lawyers will also seek the inhibition of Judge Guerrero, saying she already prejudged the case. Roderick Mendoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The government's top lawyer, Solicitor General Jose Calida, maintains that the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court is not liable for grave abuse of discretion in issuing a warrant of arrest against Senator Laila De Lima. Monokson will tell us why.
Solicitor General Jose Calida argues that there is no truth to the allegation that the warrant of arrest against Senator Leila de Lima was issued prematurely. According to Calida, a preliminary investigation is an inquiry to determine whether there is sufficient ground to believe that a crime has been committed and that the accused is probably guilty and should be held for trial. Calida explains that the issuance of a warrant is necessary to acquire jurisdiction over Senator de Lima.
The judge must first determine whether there is probable cause to issue a warrant of arrest. Because if she will not resolve this, the court will have no jurisdiction over the person of Senator de Lima. And therefore, an accused who is not within the custody of the court cannot ask for affirmative relief, like quashing an information.
Calida also said that de Lima should be tried before the RTC and not in the Sandigan Bayan, citing Section 90 of RA number 9165 or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, which provides that regional trial courts exclusive jurisdiction to try and hear cases involving illegal drug activities. Calida's claims followed the filing of petition by Senator de Lima's camp to the Supreme Court questioning the issuance of the arrest warrant. The senator's camp raised grave abuse of discretion on the part of the trial judge. De Lima's lawyers argued that there was not enough evidence to prove the allegation of illegal drug trade against their client. Moreover, they claimed that the issuance of the warrant of arrest was premature because the judge should have personally examined the records of the case before determining whether to issue such warrant. The trial judge, Juanita Guerrero, for her part, said she personally studied the records of the case to determine whether there was probable cause to issue a warrant of arrest, as clearly stated in Rule 112, Section 6 of the Revised Rules on Criminal Procedure. Mon Hocson, UNTV News and Rescue, Office of the Solicitor General.
PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa confirms he had spoken with Senator Leila de Lima in her detention cell at a custodial center in Camp Crame. Grace Casin will tell us why.
Sabi ko sa kanya, kung security yung problema mo, ma'am, very secured ka dito. Wala kang problemahin. Safe na safe ka. Tinanong ko pa nga na kung okay lang ba sa kanya yung one. Sabi ko, di ba ma'am, may asthma ka? Yung okay lang sa'yo yung bago kasi pintura yung wall doon, yung isang side. Sabi niya, okay, kaya mo daw niya. Wala akong problema.
PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa has confirmed that he personally visited Senator Leila de Lima on Friday night to check if she is in good condition. According to PNP Chief, he asked for Senator's permission first before seeing her. During their conversation, De La Rosa assured the security of De Lima while inside the PNP facility, and De La Rosa confirmed the lady senator did not ask for anything. Today is the embattled senator's third day in a small detention cell without air conditioning and furnished only with a single bed, table and chair, and a small ceiling fan. Meanwhile, PNP Headquarters Support Service Acting Director, Police Director Philip Phillips confirms that Vice President Leni Robredo visited De Lima last Friday night, while CHR Chairperson Chito Gascon dropped by on Saturday. Based on the rules of the HSS, aside from her lawyer, immediate family, doctor, and spiritual advisor are allowed to visit any time of the day. Visiting hours is 1 to 5 p.m. Tuesday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday to Sunday.
The senator was also told to give us a list of those authorized visitors that she wants. So she furnished us a list. Yan, pwede po bumisita based on visitation hours. All the others have to make a formal request subject to approval of the Chief PNP. And of course, her consent if she wants to be visited by that person or not.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
Liberal Party senators were removed from their respective committee chairmanships today. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
Liberal Party Senators Bam Aquino, Kiko Pangilinan, and Akbayan Senator Risa Hontiveros lost their committee chairmanships today after majority of the senators voted to remove them from their posts. Even Senator Franklin Drilon is ousted from being the Senate President pro tempore. During the plenary session, Senator Manny Pacquiao moved to declare as vacant Drilon's position, to which the senator conceded.
I will not interpret Senator Pacquiao, Mr. President. I second the motion.
Drilon is replaced by former Majority Floor Leader Senator Ralph Recto. Health Committee chairmanship is also removed from Senator Risa Hontiveros and is given to Senator Joseph Victor Ejercito. Senator Bam Aquino, who heads the Committee on Education, conceded to the majority decision to place Senator Cheese Escudero as the new chair of the committee. Senator Francis Pangilinan, on the other hand, is also removed as the chair of the Committee on Agriculture and is replaced by Senator Cynthia Villar. All these replacements were done quickly as there were no objections from the senators. The LP bloc, after which manifested that they will join the minority bloc with Senator Antonio Trillanes IV as the acting leader.
It's pretty clear that if you're vocal on some of the policies of the current administration, talagang may consequences yun. At ito na nga yung consequences na yan. And as I said earlier, kung yung kapalit ng pag-commemorate ng EDSA celebration, kung yung kapalit ng pagtutol sa mga patayan na nangyayari sa ating bansa, matatanggalan ka ng komite, di I gladly pay that price. No?
I joined the old majority sa premise na magbubuo kami ng isang malakas at independenteng Senado. Unfortunately, hindi na ganun ngayon. Kaya kinonsid ko yung chairmanship ng Health Committee at as a result ng mga pangyayari ngayon sa floor, bahagi na ako ng minorya.
LP President Senator Francis Pangilinan meanwhile points to Malacanang as the one behind their ouster. He says that they have been expecting this due to their controversial stand on issues such as on the alleged cases of extrajudicial killings, on death penalty, on Marcos burial, and on the very recent arrest of Senator Laila de Lima.
Ito ay kasama sa plano dahil hindi komportable ang administrasyon sa aming pagiging kritiko sa ilang mga bagay. Inilalabas ang palagay nating hindi tamang mga patakaran at polisiya.
The LP senators are now doubting the independence of the Senate. But in a statement, Senate President Coco Pimentel assures that the institution will remain true on its role as the last bastion of democracy. Meanwhile, Vice President Leni Robredo also in a separate statement says this shows that the administration is incapable of tolerating dissent and is obsessed with monopolizing of power. Meanwhile, Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Attorney Salvador Panelo reiterates that the administration does not interfere with the operation of the two branches of the government.
I think the policy of the president is not to interfere with the other branch of the government. If I hear right, those who replace the current LP senators are belonging to the same party. So, malayo yata yung alam mo, pakulo ng Malacanang. Otherwise, di sana yung mga nilagay doon, yung mga alay sa Malacanang.
Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
President Rodrigo Duterte admits that he knows self-confessed hitman Arthur Las Cañas. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Though President Rodrigo Duterte admits that he knew ex-policeman and self-proclaimed hitman Arturo Las Cañas, he denied allegations that he personally gave orders to Las Cañas when he was still mayor of Davao City.
Well, as a policeman, yes. I saw him once, twice a year. Walang task force. Tapos kita mo naman dito, I give the orders to the chief. Kay Bato, wala akong bata-bata na gano'n. Even sa military, I just go to the
President Duterte does not worry about Las Cañas and of his future expose on the alleged Davao Death Squad or DDS. This after Las Cañas retracted his statement last year of not being a member of Davao Death Squad.
Well, there might be another one coming up, the recount of the recount. I am sure.
President Duterte also revealed he was giving funds to policemen in Davao City. But he clarified that it was not to order them to kill, but to be able to conduct buy-bust operation and arrest those who were involved in illegal drug operations.
They're the same orders that I'm giving here. It so happened that itong mga ibang police, fuck it up. Gaya ng mga pera, because you know, you have to give the police money. Because if they go out and hunt for trafficking of drugs, there must be a selling and a buying. Otherwise, there is no trafficking. Kaya sinasabi na binibigyan sila ng pera. I do not deny that.
Rosa Licos, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre maintains the veracity of the ambush claim of Lalaine Madrigal Martinez, the wife of one of the high-profile inmates who testified against Senator Laila de Lima during the congressional probe on the illegal drug trade inside the New Bilibid prison. Roderick Mendoza will tell us why.
Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre is convinced that the ambush claim of Lalaine Martinez in Makati City last Friday is true. Aguirre says Lalaine, the wife of high-profile inmate Noel Martinez, called him to relay the incident. DOJ showed a photo of Lalaine, who sustained a gunshot wound on her right arm. The incident, however, is being doubted. For one, it was not reported to the Makati City PNP and no medical record of the victim was presented.
Sinabi ko nga sa kanya na wag lang pulis, sabihin mo tumawag ka rin ka ako sa NBI para dalawa-dalawa mag-imbestiga. So apparently, hindi na siya nagpa-imbestiga.
So what?
Siguro nagbagong isip na wag nang i-report. So nag-self-medication na lang siya doon sa kapatid niya.
Lalaine's car was subjected to bullet trajectory test by NBI and fragments of bullet was found inside. The bullet passed through the windshield and the driver's seat. Aguirre couldn't tell yet if the incident is connected to the bribery attempt on high-profile inmates. On Thursday, Aguirre also claimed 8 high-profile inmates detained at the AFP Custodial Center were offered 100 million pesos and liberty to recant their testimony against Senator Laila de Lima.
Hindi pa tapos ang investigation ng NBI. Once finished, I'll give you a full statement.
Roderick Mendoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
President Rodrigo Duterte gives Senator Laila de Lima his unsolicited advice. Meanwhile, President Duterte lets the Philippine National Police decide on the resumption of its anti-illegal drug operations as long as policemen to be designated in the operations are not corrupt. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
Well, you can always pray that the truth will come out eventually if there is another truth. Ako naman, hindi naman mahilig mag-ano ng kapwa-tao.
This is the first public statement of President Rodrigo Duterte about Senator Laila de Lima since she was ordered arrested by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court last Friday. President Duterte is also sure the lady senator is safe inside Camp Crame.
I'm sure that she is safe. I am. Well, and, I think people are interested not to see her death, but to see her in prison for what she did.
He will let the court decide on the case against the senator and will leave it up to the people to tell who is saying the truth or lying. President Duterte admits that critics of his administration should really be afraid, especially if they are really involved in drugs. However, when asked if Senator Antonio Trillanes will be the next target of his administration, this was his response.
It's too insignificant to bother yourself.
Meanwhile, President Duterte lets the Philippine National Police decide on the resumption of its anti-illegal drug operations.
De La Rosa's job is to look for young men in the PNP who are imbued with patriotic fervor to serve their country. Yun ang kunin niya, tapos i-martial niya against the... Because there is again a rise of the drug activities by 20%. So hindi talaga sinabi ko sa inyo, it's a virulent thing. Hindi matapos-tapos yan. Well, I said, look, give me for the men that I can trust to handle the campaign.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Malacanang.
Senators slammed Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre for joking about plans to detain another after Senator Laila de Lima. Joyce Balancho will tell us why.
Last Saturday, Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre joined the pro-Duterte supporters during the commemoration of the EDSA People Power 1, wherein he asked the public on who they want to see imprisoned next after Senator Laila de Lima. To which the crowd had responded, the name of Senator Antonio Trillanes IV. Some senators criticized Aguirre for showing an act allegedly unbecoming of a Justice Secretary.
Parang si Poncio Pilato, it shows ko anong kalidad ng mga opisyal ng gobyerno, especially Secretary of Justice ito. I cannot stress that enough. Kaya nga hinarang ko yan, sinabi ko hindi talaga siya pang Secretary of Justice. Para siyang pang barker ng political rallies,
Imbis na nagbibigay ng tamang rason na naaayon sa batas, ikaw pa yung nagtatawag ng gulo. Barker nga sa perya, di ba? Hindi naman kagalang-galang yung ganong klaseng estilo.
Pero pag ikaw ang Secretary of Justice, bakit mo tatanungin sa publiko kung sino ang dapat isunod?
Secretary Aguirre, however, explains he was just joking that time.
Parang political rally yan eh. Masyado silang... Pag sa political rally, parang mga entertainment lang yan eh.
So you were joking?
Ano pa? Wala na silang sense of humor. Next time, if somebody... I'll be more... my speech will be more appropriate.
Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, headed by Senator Panfilo Lacson, will most likely proceed with its hearing next week on the new admissions of retired police SPO3 Arturo Las Cañas. This after the committee received the affidavit of Las Cañas detailing the crimes committed by the Davao Death Squad and the alleged orders of then-Mayor Rodrigo Duterte to kill criminals and foes in Davao City. Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, who has the custody of Las Cañas now, reveals an admission by the retired police that he is being targeted by the current administration. Nonetheless, the senator says he is used to receive death threats and these will not hinder him from exposing the wrongdoings of the president. Joyce Balancho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Today's transport strike dismays passengers across the country. Jonana will tell us why.
The transport strike today has caused massive inconvenience to passengers nationwide. In Bacolod City, classes in elementary and high school levels in both public and private schools were canceled due to the transport strike. The city government designated 2 tourist buses and 12 garbage hauler trucks to provide transport service to passengers. In Cebu City, 80% of the public transport vehicles took part in today's transport holiday. This caused many workers bound to their places of work to become stranded. And in San Pedro to Calamba, Laguna, a lot of passengers who were going to their offices and schools opted riding tricycles. But the group Samahang Pinagkaisa, itinatag ng driver-operator sa Laguna or Spindol, blocked the tricycles and forced the passengers to get off. These resulted to a lot of commuters ending up returning to their homes instead, while others choose to go on foot to reach their destinations.
Dapat hindi nadadamay ang mga pasahero. May mga lakad din kami.
On the other hand, tricycle drivers were upset for losing some earnings today.
Wala pa po eh. Ay gawa ng hinaharang din naman po ang hinaharang din ng mga tricycle driver dito sa Calamba. Nakakaawa yung mga commuter.
Transport groups explained that they are disallowing tricycle drivers to operate today because they will also benefit for what they are fighting for.
Konting pangunawa at sa atin po naman itong lahat ang aming pinaglalaban dahil kabuhayan, karapatan at trabaho ang aming pinaglalaban.
Transport Group Spindol's main concern is that they cannot afford the e-jeepney which cost 1.2 million pesos to replace their jeepneys that are about to be phased out by the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board. On the other hand, the LTFRB says transport groups should not hinder tricycle drivers from operating.
We have informed the PNP about it. They have been informed and they are the ones now acting on the ground to prevent further threats and harassment. And for these areas, we will be deploying the trucks of the AFP, PNP, and Coast Guard para hindi na matakot yung mga ibang mga jeepney operators.
Meanwhile, transport groups in Davao City did not participate in the transport strike. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, has clarified that what it plans to implement is just modernization and not the phase out of old public utility jeepneys. Joan Nano will tell us why.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, has once again clarified that there is no truth to reports of jeepney phase out. This amid the massive transport strike that jeepney drivers and operators organized today. The agency says the government will just implement a jeepney modernization program.
The 15-year phase-out only applies to the buses, to the UVs, the minibuses, and the taxi. Actually, government has no 15-year phase-out on PUJs yet. But it is high time that we need to look into the roadworthiness of these jeepneys.
Should the program be approved, the agency vows to exhaust all necessary steps to not make it a burden for jeepney drivers and operators.
We are doing and crafting financial packages for you na sana na makakayanan ninyo yung packages na ibibigay ng DBP or ng Land Bank, and that we sa LTFRB will ensure that we will be with you every step of the way.
This morning, hundreds of jeepney drivers gathered at the Quezon City Memorial Circle led by Piston, Stop and Go Coalition and the No to Jeepney Phase Out Coalition. They want the government to stop its plan to remove all jeepney units out of the streets and replace them with modern units like the hybrid or electronic jeepneys.
Ibig sabihin, pagsasapribado ng PUG sa mga malalaking negosyante. Ang aming hinihiling, ang gusto lang namin po ay magkaroon ng rehabilitation ng aming mga PUG.
Although classes are suspended at the primary and secondary level across Metro Manila and other areas affected by the transport strike, only few passengers have difficulty commuting. This was because more than 100 buses and trucks were deployed by the LTFRB and MMDA across Metro Manila to provide free rides to stranded passengers. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The PNP will be implementing its three-strike policy in their new memorandum order. Grace Casin will tell us why.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, has issued a new memorandum order to emphasize the concept of command responsibility from regional down to the small unit commanders. Under the new directive, the PNP will immediately relieve all commanders from regional down to small units if any of their men will be found involved in drugs, extortion, and other forms of corruption.
If the regional headquarters, there are three provincial directors who were relieved. Based on these reasons, the regional director will be relieved. If at the district level, if 3 station commanders were relieved based on these reasons, the district commanders will be relieved. And at the provincial level, if 3 chiefs of police stations are relieved based on these reasons, the provincial or city directors will be relieved.
During the command conference this morning, they already discussed the said memo as part of their internal cleansing. They will also create an oversight committee that will focus on all cases against policemen.
Kasi may ibang mga commander dyan na nagpo-position lang just to enjoy the perks of being a commander. Ayaw magtrabaho, ayaw makialam sa kalukuhan ng kanyang tauhan hanggang sa naging sindikato ng mga tao niya.
PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa once again warned all uniform and non-uniform policemen that if they continue to violate the law, they might also be assigned in Basilan.
As I have said, nobody is indispensable dito sa ating organization. Not even myself, including myself. I am dispensable. I can be relieved anytime.
Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue, Camp Crame.
6 escapees from a PDEA jail in Camp Olivas, Pampanga have surrendered to authorities. Bernard Dantes will tell us why.
6 of the 13 detainees who escaped at dawn yesterday from the detention facility of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency or PDEA in San Fernando, Pampanga have surrendered today. According to PDEA Regional Director Juvenal Azurin, the families of the escapees had been very cooperative towards the peaceful surrender of the escapees. At past 12 this morning, they arrested 5 at a park in Bulacan.
We are able to convince those 5 fugitives to turn themselves over to us voluntarily, and with the help, of course, of their relatives.
Another escapee turned himself in at the PDEA office in San Fernando this afternoon. According to Azurin, there are 15 detainees in the PDEA jail. 2 did not attempt to escape.
Well, base sa initial na findings namin, lagaring bakal yung ginamit na base po dun sa initial investigation natin.
2 prison guards and a cop were on duty during the incident. If they are proven to be instrumental in the escape, they will face administrative charges. Meanwhile, the manhunt operations of PDEA for the other 7 escapees continue. They are advised to surrender peacefully to the authorities. Bernard Dantes, Untv News and Rescue, Philippines.
The Chamber of Mines of the Philippines is determined to file cases if the government would implement the closure of mining operations in different parts of the country. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
DENR Secretary Gina Lopez is set to meet the Commission on Appointments on March 1 for her confirmation. But the geology students of the University of the Philippines is deeply protesting against her confirmation because they might lose job opportunities in the future.
Ang nasasaktan yung mga estudyante ko ngayon kasi yung paghahanap ng mina, exploration, trabaho ho ng geologist yan. Pag pinahinto mo yung mga hindi pa nakakabukas, lipol yung trabaho namin.
Dr. Arcilla of the UP National Institute of Geological Science is wondering why Lopez is focusing more on mining while DNR has bigger problems than the issue.
Ang pagkakawala ng forest cover ng Pilipinas, hindi nanggaling sa mining. Dahil yan sa deforestation, illegal logging, etc. No? So, yun ang dapat tuunan kasi that makes a loss of diversity. Biodiversity, lahat ng tapos yung sa landslide.
The Chamber of Mines of the Philippines would file cases against Lopez and even against the government should Lopez pushes through with the implementation of the mines closure after her confirmation. Lopez already ordered the closure of 23 mining operations in the country and the suspension of 5 others due to violations, most of them allegedly located in watersheds.
Dahil mayroong pinirmahang kasunduan ang pamahalaan with these mining investors na sinasabi na malaya kayong pumasok at mag-invest sa Pilipinas at magmina. Pero ngayong nakapirma na kayo at gumastos na kayo, parang binabawi yung garantiya na iyon. So talagang asahan ninyo na magkakaroon tayo ng maraming kaso.
Lopez already asked the Commission on Appointments to give her a chance to do her job as DNR Secretary and promised that in 2 years' time, she would develop the mining areas into ecotourism sites. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The House Majority Coalition calls on for a caucus to reduce the number of crimes punishable by death, and they agree on only one crime. Nel Maribuhok will tell us why.
The House Majority Coalition conducted a caucus this afternoon to fine-tune the provisions under the death penalty reimposition bill. After the caucus, the ruling party agreed to reduce again the numbers of crimes punishable by death. From the previous 4, only 1 crime is left, and that is drug-related offenses except illegal possession of drugs.
So tanggal na yung treason, yung plunder, yung rape.
According to the House Committee on Justice Chairman Representative Reynaldo Umali, the proposed amendments for the substitute bill is by the members' consensus in order to fast-track the approval of the bill in the plenary.
It is more of yung getting the consensus of the group. Parang it became easier when we limited it to just one crime. Sabi ko nga, after all, this was the original intent.
The said development in the bill has a go signal from the House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. Opposition Congressman Albay Representative Edsel Lagman believes that since a lot of lawmakers is not convinced with its provisions, thus the House leadership continues to deliberate on the amendments.
They continue amending the bill so that from railroading it is now going to emasculation, just to convince members of the House to vote for the measure. I don't think they are really interested in the death penalty.
The supposed voting on Tuesday for the passage on second reading of the death penalty reimposition bill was postponed. It has been moved this coming Wednesday. Nel Maribuhok, Untv News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
The Department of Health will place under psychosocial debriefing the survivors of the recent bus accident in Tanay, Rizal. Meanwhile, 7 of the survivors are expected to be discharged from the hospital soon. Aiko Miguel will tell us why.
Only 7 of the 36 injured in the recent Tanay bus accident last week are confined at the Amang Rodriguez Medical Center. The Department of Health, or DOH, says they might be released from the hospital in the coming days after showing signs of recovery.
As of February 27, 11 were already discharged. 7 na lang nasa ospital. 3 sa kanila ang nagre-recover na after the operation, so surgery na ginawa. May 4 for possible discharge within the next few days.
The hospital is open to place them under psychosocial debriefing, especially since the accident has a huge effect on their livelihood. The DOH seeks to ease any psychological impact the accident inflicted on the victims, especially since some of them are rendered disabled.
Amang Rodriguez Medical Center is a DOH government hospital. So sila na yung bahala dyan at open lahat sila. They will support and they will provide all the things that would be needed to make the lives of these people normal as possible in the future.
The DOH also vows to shoulder all the medical expenses of the survivors.
Secretary Ubial po ay nagbigay po ng instruction na sasagutin po ng Department of Health yung kanilang mga gamot, rehabilitation, para lang po matulungan natin yung mga pasyente na may balik sa normal na buhay.
The management of Bestlink College of the Philippines and Panda Bus also vowed to provide medical aid to the victims. Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Department of Health.
The Department of Energy and National Grid Corporation currently sees no power shortage in the country this coming summer season. Nel Maribuhok will tell us why.
This summer, major power plants in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao region are scheduled for maintenance shutdown. However, the Department of Energy does not see any power shortage as of this moment or possible declaration of yellow alert.
The numbers for the summer are good? Yes. Subject to unforeseen events.
Based on our outlook that we have submitted to DOE, so far with that schedule, except if there are forced outages, we are in good situation.
According to NGCP, currently Luzon has 10,172 megawatts system capacity and with 1,694 megawatts reserve. Visayas has a reserve of 827 megawatts and Mindanao has 237 megawatts. This means that the power supply is sufficient to address the supply demand in the country. The plants on maintenance schedule include the Pagbilao Power Plant that will shut down for operation from March 25 to June 5, the Quezon Power Philippines Limited, which has already started last January and will last until March 10, and GN Power up to March 13. In Visayas region, the Cebu Energy Development Corporation is scheduled also for maintenance shutdown, and Tongonan Geothermal and the Agus 4 Hydroelectric Power Plant in Mindanao. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, House of Representatives.
Coming up, A Chinese researcher believes degradable screws can help relieve patients of follow-up bone surgeries.
And experience the Netherlands in Asia when you visit the Shaoxie flower farm in Taiwan.
More from Y News after this break. Debate surrounds a transgender boy in wrestling in a Texas championship for girls due to state regulations on gender. Chris De Leon will tell us why.
High school athlete Mac Beggs and many of his opponents wanted to wrestle against boys, but a transgender boy wrestled in the Texas championship for girls because of state sport regulations on gender. Beggs, 17, is transitioning from girl to boy, and the governing body for Texas school athletics has required him to compete by his birth gender, which is female. The wrestler at Trinity High School in the Dallas suburb of Euless had a 52-0 record ahead of the tournament and is the favorite to win his 110-pound weight class in the girls' championship, which ends on Saturday. Baggs' family has sought to have him wrestle as a boy, and some of his opponents have said he has an unfair advantage among girls from the testosterone he is taking as a part of his transition.
They are using something, they are stacked, they are huge, and it's not fair.
But Trinity High School student Nestle Villela says Baggs' success comes from his work ethic.
And he works really, really hard, even with that medication. So I think that it's completely fair for him to do that.
The University Interscholastic League, which governs school sports in Texas, said that the state's education code allows the use of banned drug, such as steroid, if it is prescribed by a medical practitioner for a valid medical purpose. Begg and his coaches have declined media requests to speak ahead of the tournament. According to transathlete.com, which provides information for transgender athletes, Texas is one of the 7 U.S. states with policies it sees as discriminatory against transgender athletes. Chris De Leon, Untv News and Rescue, USA.
Colorful windmills attract crowds for spring outings in China. Dulce Alarcon will tell us why.
While the Dutch swarm to Kirchenhof and Zaan to see the windmills and tulips in the spring, the Chinese swirl around Shandong and Jiangxi to see their windmills and tulip in the same season. The difference does not stop in the geographical distance. While the Dutch windmills are made from wood and bricks, the Chinese windmills are of paper in various colors and cut in various shapes. Different as they may be, the two schools of windmills both swirl and twirl in spring breezes. There are more windmills in China than in Netherlands. People see more than 10,000 paper windmills in Shandong province.
风车呢，虽然平时孩子也能够见到，但是像这么多、像这么漂亮的，平时呢很少有机会。
Further south in China's Jiangxi province, there are upwards of 70,000 paper windmills swirling and twirling among blossoming tulips, imported from the Netherlands. Making paper windmill is a folklore tradition to convey seasonal greetings and wishes for friends and families in China. Dulce Alarcon, UNTV News and Rescue, Shanghai, China.
Isang araw, ikatlong yugto inspires overseas Filipino workers at a special screening in Singapore. Ani Reyes will tell us why.
Ambassador Antonio Morales was impressed by the theme of Mr. Public Service Kuya Daniel's advocacy film, Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto. According to him, this will immensely help our countrymen not only here in the Philippines, but also those living overseas.
Ang pelikulang ito ay isang pagpapakita ng mga pangyayaring nagaganap sa ating bansa sa kasalukuyang panahon, kabilang na rin ang mga suliranin sa illegal na droga at sa krimen. At sa aking palagay, ang ating mga kababayan sa ibang bansa ay mabubukasan ang kanilang mga mata sa pamamagitan ng panonood ng pelikulang ito. Kaya maraming salamat kay Brother Daniel Rason sa pagpapalabas at pagpaproduce ng pelikulang ito.
Our countrymen who came to Singapore are grateful for the chance to see and meet Kuya Daniel. Even from the airport, we have seen the warm welcome from our kasangbahays. Viewers were touched and made emotional by every scene in the film.
Sobrang ganda niya, nakaka-relate kami. Bilang single mother, parang naano agad ako kung ano yung dapat kong gawin. Tsaka yung pagtulong sa kapwa, walang pinipiling panahon, lugar. Basta kung ano sa puso mo na tumulong, kailangan dapat tumulong anytime.
Meanwhile, Kuya Daniel was overjoyed that viewers understood the message of the movie.
Taawa ng Diyos ay nakikita naman siguro natin yung response from the moviegoers na naintindihan nila kung ano yung mensahe ng ating gustong iparating sa kanila. Sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin, maging sa mga hindi natin kababayan na nanood ng ating pelikula, maging sa ating mga ambassador, sa ating mga consul na pumunta dito sa Singapore, yung mga nasa from other countries na bumisita dito sa Singapore para panoorin yung ating movie dito sa Capitol Theater dito sa Singapore. Nagpapasalamat tayo sa Panginoon for this opportunity.
The movie Isang Araw, Ikatlong Yugto serves as inspiration and hope for OFWs here in Singapore and in other parts of the world, making them feel at peace for their relatives in the Philippines. Annie Reyes, Untv News and Rescue, Singapore.
Chinese researchers believe degradable screws can help relieve patients of follow-up bone surgeries. Eric Quinto will tell us why.
To patients who get their bones repaired or fixed, the finding of a self-degradable material is for sure glad tidings. And what this Chinese research finder has added to his material is a control of its degradation. This would mean those patients do not have to undergo a follow-up operation to get out the titanium alloy or stainless steel used to couple up their bone fractures or cuts. Tao Hu is a research fellow with the Shanghai Institute of Microsystem and Information Technology under the Chinese Academy of Sciences or CAS. It is him who has harvested a protein solution from seal cocoons. He solidifies the solution and shapes it into degradable screws to replace those metal screws.
降解产物是氨基酸，这对人体是无害的。这整个过程我们是可以控制的，所以这样就不需要有2次手术，而且它这个降解速度可以去匹配患者自身这个伤愈的恢复的一个程度。
And what's more, Tao's finding can be modified for plastic surgeries as well, as filler materials for nose reshape, breast implant, and bone infill. The only thing these patients now need is some patience. They have to wait for 3 or 4 more years for Tao's finding and technology to become full-length commercial products. A biopharmaceutical company has already got the transferal of Tao's technology for clinical trials, so it won't be long for bone patients to save their painful second trip to their physicians and their follow-up operations. Eric Quinto, Untv News and Rescue, Shanghai, China.
Zhongshe Flower Farm gives visitors a feel of the Netherlands while in Taiwan. Amiel Pascual will tell us why.
During the cold season, there's a place in central Taiwan that will make you feel like you are in the Netherlands without going far away there. Zhongshe Flower Farm is located in Holy Township in Taichung City. It's a flower market with a wide array of brilliant colorful flowers covering a land area of 6 hectares. Zhongshe Flower Farm is the only flower market succeeded in growing tulips in low-lying areas of Taiwan. About 150,000 tulip bulbs of different varieties are planted and in full bloom from January to March each year. The flower exhibition features beautifully landscaped gardens and flower beds all arranged in different types of flowers. The flower exhibition allows tourists to gain a deeper understanding of Taiwan's agriculture and flower industries. The spacious fields of colorful flowers attract large number of visitors to enjoy the masses of color and beauty, as well as those who love photography. The flora patterns changes with the seasons, providing visitors a brand new experience every time they visit again.
Maganda po yung pakagawa nilang ng mga flowers, designs, at saka first time ko po makakita ng mga ganito. So na-appreciate ko po yung paligid niya.
Visitors can take a 2 to 3 hour ride train from Taipei to Holi to experience a beautiful ambience of Zhongshe Flower Farm.
Aganda po. Sobrang lamig. Malamig, sobrang ganda. Murang-mura lang po. Yung mga hindi pa nakakapunta dito, pumunta na. Kasi sobrang ganda. Mura lang naman ang entrance eh.
很漂亮，这样对啊，就是天气也很好，就是这个地方的天气很好啦，所以就是也不用担心会下雨或者是太阳太热，这样。
Amiel Pascual, Untv News and Rescue, Taichung, Taiwan.
Those are the reasons behind the news, February 27, 2017. I'm Angelo Castro III.
Reasons we delivered to you as they unfold. I'm Darlene Basingan.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Thank you for watching Y News.